that is a weird spot to be in. And I don't know if I ever want to be in there. Also, going off of something that Greg was just talking about with the end of Matrix, and did we really think this out? The end of Snowpiercer. I'm sorry, people, but it's coming down to a little black kid and a little Asian girl. That is not human society restarting. That is painful, slow end to the goddamn call. You could have figured out what you wanted to do when you got to the front of the train. You didn't have to sacrifice everyone and then be like, all right, fuck it, let's just bring the train off the tracks. You could have just like, after my man lost his arm, when they put it outside, everyone should have been like, all right, look, it's cold. All right, that is fucking cool. They just put his arm out there for like 10 seconds and they smashed that shit. Like that was goddamn cryo freeze going on right there. We gotta figure this out, guys. Like, I get it. We're eating some funky shit, but Chris Evans ate a baby, so like, where are we really pushing our ego on? Like, can we tone it down a little bit? Also, Cabin Fever's universe. I gotta tell you, you're in a bad spot if all you have to the best of your destiny is a bunch of fucking bureaucrats sitting in an underground lair, keeping other monsters away from coming up to fucking kill everything.
Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods. Thank you.
Sorry.
Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin movies.
Cabin Fever also was kind of fucked up, but I'll leave that alone for what I'm talking about. But Cabin in the Woods, Hunger Games, and Ender's Game. I'm putting them together because no matter what situation you are coming down to, if it's coming down to finding the best case scenario and a bunch of kids, you're fucked. You're done. Like it's no matter what your solution is, coming after that, it is because of a child. That's the start of the sentence. You're selling everyone at the end of the sentence. You're like, no, I have a great idea. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a mastermind who's gonna figure out this insect invasion. He's going to actually think ahead. He's going to actually be able to be so smart that he'll be able to command virtual armadas to the thousands. We'll do that. Cool. Who you got? This 8-year-old. Fuck. You know, like, where you go from there?
Hang with me. Child killers. Okay. Right? Here's how we're gonna do it.
I really hope we don't have warlords in Africa listening to us. Like, I really hope of the few people downloading it, it's not any of them. But I'm willing to bet they're sitting there like, no, it don't work, man. It do not work. Like, you can think it does. It might be cheap. It don't fucking work.
I'm gonna interrupt you very briefly, but Google it. General butt naked, legit. That's a real thing. Go Google it. Continue, Rashawn. Sorry.
I'm supposed to continue after General Butt Naked. I'm supposed to continue after that.
I'm just saying, you were talking about African warlords. That's a legit.
I know, but now, like, how am I not focusing on General Butt Naked? How am I not focusing on the world where you have to somehow interact with General Butt Naked? That's impossible. You know how my brain works. Also, Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about fucked up situations.
Oh, yeah.
Really got a bad spot. So let me get this straight. Our chances of coming down to some of the shittiest fighters that we can come to think of, like, these guys can barely top fucking what's his name? Who's the girl in Pretty Woman?
Oh, Julia Roberts?
Yeah, Eric Roberts. These guys can barely beat Eric Roberts' crew from fucking Best of the Best. They can barely take them out. If it wasn't
Best of the Best,
secret hidden lethal shit, they would easily lose to that team. And I'm including Chris Penn. I'm fucking starting with him. He can lead, the Cowboy can lead off. He can lead off, and he's gonna go ahead and take a few points.
Remember, he dies first in Best of the Best too. So
I know. That's what I'm saying. He can lead off. That team is a little bit better than anything I've seen in any other Mortal Kombat. So though, shout out to the last one. Wasn't bad. Good start. Also, Star Trek. I'm just gonna leave it at this, and it's clear, guys. They broke down how teleports work. Everyone dies when you fucking teleport. There's no way around it. You are de-atomized and then put back together, which means literally you get uploaded after you get de-atomized and then put fucking back down. So I could argue that within 10 years of the teleporter actually working in Star Trek, everyone's dead and it's a computer simulation. It is no different than the Matrix. Whatever they're doing at that point, it just doesn't matter. It is no different than Matrix. I'm also gonna bring up all Clint Eastwood movies. I want to point out everything's from the point of view of Clint Eastwood. That is not a good spot to be for anyone who does not look like Clint Eastwood. Literally, that is women, men, it doesn't matter. Like, this guy goes off of judgments off of how much he can squint at something. That is basically it. The Smurfs fucking universe. What the fuck is going on here? I need to understand what was Gargamel's deal, what are the Smurfs deal, how they get, why they have a society where it's just one woman. Is she cool with it? Is she trapped? Is Gargamel actually the hero? Is he actually there? Because I know I'm focusing on just this interaction, but then there's a world around that that's totally cool with this situation going on. Like, obviously, they're just watching some fucking old guy just lose it on the shrooms that he keeps finding in the forest and chase after little blue people. The Fast and Furious universe, because if you want to talk about superheroes being somewhere, obviously they're in Fast and Furious and no one's cool, like everyone's cool with this. So you could be in traffic and next you know, Dom and his goddamn indestructibles are just gonna drive right past you to catch someone they already caught. They already caught him. Like, what the fuck? Like, how many times can we go through the storyline? GOT, best you're gonna get is a dragon versus a goddamn zombie ice dragon. So good luck there. Have fun with that. The Bond universe, the James Bond universe. There are nothing but super villains just walking around this place, and everyone's cool with it. Everyone's just like, yeah, no, this guy just bought an island next to St. Thomas. Are we cool with that? Like, he has a lot of guns. Yeah, that's fine. Well, that's fine. Call MI6. We'll get to him. All Survivor movies, every single one of them, because I can't help but to think, where is the goddamn bathroom? Like, how do you come to this? Like, when everyone's trapped in a cave or something like that, and they're right now in the apocalypse or whatever, all I think about is where is the actual bathroom? Die Hard is getting progressively worse in the Die Hard universe. It started off as just a cop who happened to be at a building that got shot down. Then planes started fucking flying out of the sky. Then he's flying a goddamn plane. So I'm telling you, it is not going to get better in the Die Hard universe. I'm going to end it with another cop movie in a fucking place you do not want to be. Lethal Weapon. The best fucking chance you have in the Lethal Weapon universe is a fucking depressed cop and a coked out cop. And they're not the ones you're thinking about. It's actually the reverse. And I promise you that. And they got Immortals in there. I know it went over time, but fuck that. They got Immortals in Lethal Weapon. The henchman in Lethal Weapon 1 shows up in Lethal Weapon 3. Same fucking role, same job, same fucking situation. He's there. Oh, and don't worry, he has a fucking buddy who's also in Lethal Weapon 1, who's also in Lethal Weapon 3 with him, because he's a goddamn immortal, but also in Lethal Weapon 2. Don't worry, he finds Jesus in Lethal Weapon 4, and he's a helicopter pilot, so it's all good. But there's something going on in Lethal Weapon where we're focusing on these fucking coked out cop and the depressed one. And again, not the ones you're thinking.
Yeah.
But we're just losing society of immortals just walking around in the crime syndicate.
Well, take a breath.
So Lethal Weapon is not where I want to be.
There was a lot of fun facts in that.
There is. It's true.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun facts. Fun fact. It's hard to fuck a cartoon.
Well, I mean, how could you walk away from Roger Rabbit and not think about that? That's just like, that's the first, like, literally they put out the sexiest cartoon there, and that was the entire thing.
I went to go see that movie in the movie theater. Shout out to Shoppers World.
Absolutely.
And two things happened. It was the first release, so they didn't catch it right away, or they did catch it because this is after edits, so they thought it was a good idea. But two things happened to me in that movie that fucked me up for life. One, Daffy Duck calls, which one's more? Yeah, that's Daffy Duck. Donald Duck calls Daffy Duck the N-word, but they don't say N-word. They actually go full out ER. And also conflicted thoughts about why I'm fucking attracted to a cartoon. Like, 8-year-olds should not be at that spot when they're coming out. That's a weird day for an 8-year-old.
Next to your dad, which just makes it all kinds of awkward.
If anything, my dad helped out in that situation. Like, yeah, kid, that she's pretty hot. But like I'm dealing with a cartoon, not hero, but like one of my favorites, because I was actually a little bit more a Donald guy than Mickey. Dealing with that. And then fucking the other thing, that is a weird day for a kid.
Nah, that's very true. And I had probably forgotten about that, but probably it's one of those that, unfortunately, if you go back and listen to it, you can hear it when you know it's there. And it probably got by me at the time, but it's like, yikes. Of course, knowing the time They're like, oh, hey, let's put this in. It'll be funny. It'll be edgy.
Yeah.
He's got a speech impediment. Maybe they won't hear. Easter egg. Yeah, great. Thank you for that Easter egg. Thank you.
There is a short where Donald Duck has a dream that he's in the Nazi party,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
which is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, it's actually pretty amazing. And
Daffy,
I don't know. I just feel like he wasn't into Nazis, not for moral reasons. It didn't work for him.
Didn't work for him. Just too
Yeah.
constrictive. I don't know. Daffy at least took the high road, and when they did some propaganda cartoons, and he was beating up. At the very end, he's flying around and he's like, Messerschmitts, a whole mess of Messerschmitts, right? And he ends up being thrown out of the plane and landing behind a Warner Brothers cartoon of the Fuhrer, of Hitler himself, and he just hauls back with a big old mallet and cracks him off the head. So, all right, yeah, America.
Great side of history.
At least we could certainly cancel Hitler, right? I think we can all agree on that.
I mean, Rashawn touched on a lot there, and I don't think I disagree with anything. Bottom line, I think most fictitious universes you don't really want to live in.
Not so much.
If I was going to pick one to possibly live in, I don't know. You know what? I'm going to go with Harry Potter.
There you go.
I'm going to go with Harry Potter because you know what? I ain't got little white children that want to go to wizard school. That ain't my fucking problem. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't see how this is ever going to affect me in any real way. My muggle ass is going to be like, yo, that sucks. Y'all should do something about that motherfucking Dark Lord.
I guess the Dark Lord does want to enslave all muggledom, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. But if his ass can't even wrap his mind around, go get a gun to kill the teenager that is your worst enemy, I'm just not worried. I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm good. Yeah, Harry Potter.
All right, so you go with Harry Potter.
I was running out of steam, but back to the Bond situation. It's like, how do these guys get here? What kind of world do we live in where these supervillains get to the point where they can buy like islands and shit like that, but they don't have the wherewithal to just shoot the fucking person that can take it down whenever they see him?
Scotty,
right?
Scotty had it right. Just shoot him, Dad. Just shoot him.
Just shoot him.
And I left out G.I. Joe and really the Hasbro verse. I left that out.
Oh man.
I mean, the horror movies, Jason can't die, Michael keeps getting reborn, and Freddy's a goddamn thought. He's literally a thought. So, I mean, that's a shitty shakeout.
Oh, that's the worst.
I mean, I know what you meant, but my mind went straight to that hole over there. I just couldn't help it. I ain't gonna
lie. Well, I would probably have to. I'll probably leave us with the thought that if you're putting the gun to my head and forcing me to pick one, I probably will still pick Star Trek, even though I think you make a very legitimate point about the transporter. And maybe I'll just have to be like Lieutenant Barclay. Remember him? He didn't had a fear of transporters, and he would use shuttlecraft all the time. For that very reason, though, like the very reason that you
really
pointed out.
Life?
McCoy hated him too, didn't he?
McCoy didn't like him, but he would use him. But he would, I don't have my atoms scrambled.
Right.
So they got a lot of very advanced medical treatment. Everything seems pretty good. They got a pretty advanced society, of which
it's all simulation.
Well, maybe so. But then, you got Moriarty in the holodeck, and then you're back to the Roger Rabbit thing with the holodeck and having sex with the hologram. So it's like, no matter where you go,
hologram. In the Roger Rabbit universe, they're there.
But you could take a hologram of the Roger Rabbit. Oh God, it just
then you're back to my original story about how you have to have some sort of options for guys who can't get laid.
It's
Holodecks.
There we go.
Done. I mean, they'll never fucking leave.
Well,
whatever.
Which might be better for the rest of the world. That might be how we save the world.
Thank you.
Or end it.
Or end it. Well, one would assume you could get the appropriate genetic material to keep the species going, and then
somewhere around 80% of men, most of the biggest fuck ups you'll make in your life are in the chasing of tail.
So,
This is better for everyone.
yeah, just kind of keeps everybody off to their own little side there. Let the women folk,
absolutely.
let women do what they need to do to actually get this world back.